Hey everyone, welcome to Make It Rock, the show where I show you how I make it rock and, well, how you can too. Let's see who we got. We just right now we just have Lewis Cook with us. Welcome, Lewis. And we have Amelia 13. Oh, we've got Paws and Guitars here in the house. What's up, Paws? Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be talking about a literally a legendary piece of software called Albino 3. It's been around a long time. From my research, it originally came out. I can say with certainty, it originally came out in 2006. If you can believe that, it's been a long time in the making, and it's been around and beloved by people who at least are in the know about this kind of thing. Since way back in 2006, so a really long time. This plugin's been on the market. It's by Rob Papen, and it was actually a collaboration. So we'll take a look here at the information that they have available online. So Albino 3 Legend. This is the resurrection of a legendary, because this was originally a what was it, the 32-bit, I think they were back then. So it was originally a 32-bit plugin. They've upgraded this one to 64-bit and re-release, and I love that. I love that, you have these old synths that were really good, and they just don't work on modern equipment because they're not, nothing work. 32-bit doesn't really work too much anymore without bridges and crazy stuff. To get it to work. Maybe on Windows you can finagle something, but at least in the Mac world, you certainly can't do that. Hey, Dave Bobs. Imagine that. Good to see you. This was the result of a collaboration between virtual instrument designer Peter Linsner and Dutch sound designer and musician Rob Papen, now reborn as Albino 3 Legend. And they've added VST3 support, different GUI sizes. Imagine that. That's a crazy thing, isn't it? Compatibility with the latest PC and Mac operating systems and processors. The Albino 3's key features include high-quality presets in a wide range of styles, an easy-to-use interface, highly flexible oscillators, 4 types of stereo filters, an enormous range of processing and modulation options, powerful, flexible arpeggiator, and a layer system that allows you to combine up to 4 layers in one preset. So when these things come out, hello Jade Star, good morning, how you doing? Hope you're doing well today. When these synths come out and they have all these features, they've had stuff like this since 2006. It's not really all that. It's not all that new. So I have a manual. I couldn't find a manual for the Legend version, but this is a manual for the original version from 2006. And I don't think too much has actually changed. Let's get past the table of contents and installation, how to install things. Hey, Leela, good to see you. Hope you're doing well today as well. So let's see what we have here. These were new features in 2006, but each preset can be made of 4 individual layers. Hey, Brad Example. Hope you're doing well today. Good to see you. Each layer can feature controls for visibility, on-off, activity, location, oh my goodness, all this stuff. There's a wah-wah effect, which is great, a compressor effect, a lo-fi effect, enhanced reverb effect with controls for diffusion, modulation speed, a sync menu for pre-delay, the cutoff modulation speed, and the filter and the effects can be synced to song tempo. So all kinds of cool stuff happening in this synth. There's a modulation matrix. It's in the matrix. So let's take a look. This is the features. This is what we really want to see. So there's each preset consists of 4 separate layers for rich, complex sound synthesis. There's 4 oscillators per layer. So remember, we have 4 layers and 4 oscillators per layer. So that gives you a grand total of, 16 oscillators. at any given time. Oscillator modules include analog, digital, noise, and audio input type, FM modulation, AM modulation, oscillators sync in analog oscillators 2 and 4, and various filter routing options are available. And these filters, let me tell you something. And yes, thank you, Dave, for the reminder. If you would like to hit the like button, that would be tremendous. Stereo filters, there's 4 types. So there's a silk type, a cream type, a scream type, and a comb type. There's also 3 multi-mode filters, silk, cream, and scream, each with a different basic design, thus producing different sounding filters. The filters are stereo with panning and panning modulation options. There's one of my favorites, the saturation knob, precedes each filter. So this thing can basically generate its own kind of distortion. There's 4 LFOs, and the LFO waves have adjustable start phase and waveform symmetry. LFOs can also be set to mono mode. There's a modulation matrix, enter the matrix, which includes 16 routings with 26 sources and 47 destinations. I'm telling you what, this thing can keep you busy if you want it to. There's an arpeggiator with 32-step rhythm sequencer, step length clock settings, various modes including modulation and chord, switchable keyboard retrigger, swing, velocity mix, save, load functionality. You would hope to have that. Spread function for each oscillator for ultra fat detuned sounds, and we like sounds to be ultra fat and detuned. There's a chord memory mode saved with the preset. Let's see what else. There's choruses. There's 4 effects per layer. Remember, there's 4 layers. So 12 stereo effects, 2 choruses, 2 delays, filter, phaser, reverb, flanger, gator, wah-wah, compressor, and lo-fi. And there's a whole bunch of other things in here. There's microtonal support. I don't think I can demonstrate this because you need a scala file to tell it what scale you want to use. So you would have to find that externally. But I imagine there's probably something that generates these, so you could probably generate your own scales if you wanted to. Arpeggiator. I don't know what's different about it, but okay. Adjustable voice limit. There's MIDI activity display and all kinds of stuff. This is really cool also, the adjustable precision setting for recreating the warmth of true analog synthesizers. There's also a randomize function. We'll see how much of this we can cover today. We're not going to be able to cover this whole thing, but I have it loaded up here in FL Studio. And now, these are the controls that you can see, but if you click down here on this, the logo here, you can go to the back, and there's more controls. This is stuff that they put back here because they don't want you to mess it up. And I'm going to increase the screen size. And next time you start Albino 3, it will start in 150% screen size. This will just help us out a little bit here. And you just click on the middle. So I'm going to, let's see if we can go up here and reload plugin. Let's see if that'll do it. No, it didn't. Sometimes it gets all wonky when you do this. So what we may have to do is just go ahead and replace it with itself. And that still didn't work. All right, we're going to just totally, we're going to replace it with something else. We'll just use FL keys just to get rid of it. And then we'll replace it. And hopefully, yes, there we go. Now we got it big, so you can see what's happening. All right. So we have the first oscillator up here. You can choose analog, digital, noise, or audio in. And I'm not exactly sure how the audio in part actually works. I don't know if you can kind of load this as an effect. I've never used that before, but it is theoretically possible. Hello, Costa. Welcome. Good to see you. So we have all kinds of, and you see you can slide between different waves. So this one, they have the Spectra 31, This one has the Spectra 71. So there's 3 banks of spectral waves. There's also classic ones, which is your sine, your triangle, your sawtooth, squares, organ, rich saw, vintage saw, saw base, 8 different saw bases, and then you have all your spectral waves, which are going to be just some really unique sounding things. And you can specify the pitch length. So when we talk about these pitches here, these come from the pipe organ, actually. And they actually did this wrong. And I'll tell you how they did this wrong. So see, these have they have the inch mark after it, which it should just be a lone apostrophe after it, not because this would indicate inches. So what these are foot lengths. And on a pipe organ, you would have the lowest note would need a 32-foot long. If it's a regular open pipe, you would need a 32-foot high pipe to produce that lowest note. So that's a very low note. And then you can go all the way up to this what would be 2 feet. So the lowest note in that one, on a 61 note keyboard, would be only 2 feet high, and they would get smaller progressively from there. So that's what those designations mean. What they mean in a practical sense is 8 foot is piano pitch. So that's exactly the same. The notes will correspond exactly with a piano. Everything else, 16 foot is 1 octave lower, 32 foot is 2 octaves lower, 4 foot is an octave higher, and 2 foot is 2 octaves higher. So that's how you kind of know what these are. So if you have it at 8, that's going to be at standard piano pitch. We'll see. I don't know if I can I solo just this one? We can shut the other one off. That's what we'll do. We shut the other one off. Now, see, if I lower this, it'll be an octave lower. 2 octaves lower. So then, if you want to come in and you want to combine it with this second oscillator at like 2 foot pitch, which would be really high, you can do that. And then you get both. But you have not one, you have not 2, but you actually have 4. And the way they do that is here. So this is 1 and 3, and these can be used together. And then you have 2 and 4, and these can be used together. And they're all exactly the same. And you have over here, you have your cents for fine tuning. You have your semitones. If you want to raise this just a few semitones, you can do that. It'll sound weird, probably. It might make more of a difference here. And that's just lowering it by 1 semitone. So, if you want to keep that at unison pitch, you'll keep it at 0. And then you can also control the octave here, which is a funny thing because you're already able to control the octaves here individually with these range controls. But you can also then take this whole thing and you can increase it by as many as 7 octaves, which would be totally insane. Or you can lower it by 2. So you could raise this 7 octaves if you want. I don't know why you would ever do that. So there you go. You have your volume, of course, right there. Your stereo spread, which just will kind of take and make this more mono if it's that way. If you have it all the way up, it's going to be more stereo spread on that. And then you have a balance between 1 and 2, which I think... I'll be honest with you, I'm not totally sure what that is balancing between. I don't know. It's because these are 1 and 2. 1 and 2. You have, it might be between the filters, I guess. Hello, Pete Johns. Welcome. Good to see you. All right. So that's your oscillator section. Again, you have 4 total oscillators. And there's also track. And then there's free run. And these, again, I'm not totally sure what those things do. There's stuff in here. I've used this synth for like decades, and I've never used these things. Doesn't mean you shouldn't or you can't. I'm just saying they never really came up in the course of my using it. Now, what's really cool over here is this filter. And what this does, oh, see, now we have just that first oscillator. That's oscillator 3 was also on. And let's bring this back up to a more reasonable pitch. So you have right here, this is your saturation. You have 4 different saturation modes. So when you bring this up, it's going to start to distort a little bit. And the more you do it, the more it's going to distort. Hello, Tremor Bear. Welcome. So the more you bring up that saturation, the more it's going to distort. And then you have some different modes. Obviously, 2 a bit more extreme. 3 is very extreme. I mean, it gets almost to like noise when you turn it all the way up on 3. And then you have 4, which is more of like it's like a broken kind of sound. Like a broken transistor or something. That's cool though. And then you have your filters. Now you can do a 12-pole filter or a 24-pole filter, which just means kind of how extreme the filter is. A 24-pole filter will be a bit more expansive than a 12-pole filter. You can do the low pass, the high pass, band pass, or I'm not sure what N is. Like a noise filter, I guess? Huh. But a low pass filter, what that means, that's kind of your traditional mode of operation. So it'll let the lows through. And then the more you increase it, it's letting more high end come in. So you can see, like here, with it all the way down, you barely hear it because it's so low. And then when you push that up, and it lets those high-end frequencies come through. When you have it in high-pass mode, it does the exact opposite. So when you have it all the way down, it's actually letting the whole sound through. And then it'll start to cut off those low frequencies. So you're just getting the high end. Now, band pass will give you more of a... Oh, that N could be a notch filter too. I didn't think that. And that might be what that is. So the band pass will give you more of like a certain bandwidth, and your resonance will determine how wide that band is. So when you have this down low, it's kind of giving you like if you looked at an EQ curve, it would be giving you like a boost in the low end. And then as you come up, and the more this resonance is, the higher the amplitude and the frequency width of that band pass will be. So it kind of sweeps through the frequency spectrum. Think of it as like a bell curve. So that's a nice thing. Then you have the envelope as well, and there should be. So when you get into the envelope section, you'll have the 2 filter envelopes: filter envelope 1, filter envelope 2. And what that does is it does the same thing as the regular envelope, the regular like attack. This has attack, decay, sustain, fade, and release. Usually you just have ADSR, but this one has an extra fade portion as well, which I'm not totally sure what that does in relation to this, because that's a specific thing to this synth. But you can also set basically an envelope very similar to the one that you would use as your that controls the oscillators. You can set an envelope that controls the filter as well. So if you do like a fast attack on the filter, which this is set right now, that these filter settings will come in very quickly. But if you do it slower, and see, that's where these buttons here come in, F1. So it's saying what filter envelope we're using, I believe, is what's happening. And this controls the amount of that. And you can do it inverse if you want to. This will invert it. So it's basically doing the exact opposite. So there we go. We have different kinds of filters as well. We have the silk. We're on the cream right now. we'll go to the silk filter. And that'll be probably a bit smoother. The scream will be very extreme, of course. And you could really amp that up. Oh, you hear that? And see, this one changes the way you select the mode as well. So, but you still have high pass, low pass, band pass, flat. You can actually, I don't know if this one will do it, but you can get some, I bet this probably would. You can get some of these filters will oscillate on their own. So you can already see the amount of potential that you have with this, and we're not even scratching the surface. Again, you have the envelope. This is like, again, it's kind of your standard envelope, except you also have this fade control, which I'm still not, again, totally sure what that entails. You hear that short release there when you turn the release down. What the decay does, so the attack controls the speed at which the sound begins. The decay controls the amount of time that it's held. The sustain also kind of controls that similarly, but it's basically it's kind of like this is how long the sound will go for. But this will also keep it going longer. So if you have no sustain on, then this decay just kind of becomes like how long this sound is going to go for. So then it's just and I'm not even letting my fingers off the key. And it's ending. It's kind of like a piano. When you do this, if you push the sustain all the way that way, it goes into more like organ mode where it'll stay on. As long as you hold the key down. And then your release is what happens as soon as you let go of the key. Like with this all the way down on 0.001, it's going to cut right off. But if you start pushing that up, it's going to stick around a little bit. And the longer you do that, the more kind of this after you let go of the key, the more it will keep sounding for a few microseconds. I mean, it's not very long. You have this scaling thing. I don't know what that does. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure what the scaling thing is. What the fuck? Cream Cash rules everything about me. Oh, Cream Cash rules everything around me. There you go. Dollar bills, y'all. There you go. Right on. So then we get down into we have the mod matrix. Oh my goodness, this is a very complicated section. So you have all these different controls that can be set. So note played expression. There's velocity, aftertouch, pitch wheel, modulation wheel. These can all be assigned to different things. So Wu-Tang. Right on. These can be assigned to different things, so you can assign it to oscillator 1, amplitude, pitch, symmetry, balance, all these different controls, and you can really set up how you want all these things to do. You had to do it. Right on. I get it. But yes. So you have this mod matrix. It really allows you a lot of flexibility as far as the control and again, this is something I really didn't get into too much of this. I mainly stuck to things like the filter and the effects here, which are awesome. So you can stack up 4 different effects, and you have delay, chorus. We talked about it before. Delay, chorus 2, phaser, flanger, filter, reverb, stereo delay, gator, wah-wah. Let's just see what a wah-wah sounds like on here. Okay, so I see what it's doing. This isn't going to work too well the way I have this set up because I have the velocity sensitivity turned off. But I think it takes your velocity sensitivity and let's see if I can change that real quick. Go into MIDI settings and we'll go to velocity. And you can see my velocity mapping right here. It's a straight line because it's I'm going to hit reset. So now it'll just be on when it's this vertical, when it's this diagonal line like this, it's going to actually give you the velocity control. So let's see. I guess it's doing something. When you hold it down, it's doing a little bit there. All right. But you have the delay, you have all your standard delay type settings, you have 2 different choruses. Oh, that's really a nice wide one there. Flanger. You got lo-fi. What is the lo-fi? The lo-fi is like a bit crusher. My favorite effect. See, and you can even control the type of filter that like the effects have. Like if you want to make this a high pass filter or a band pass filter, you can do that there. You can control the resonance. That kind of gives you control over the division, gives you control over the resolution of the sound. So the more you turn that up, the lower resolution the sound's going to be. So you can kind of emulate some of the vintage hardware and stuff like that. Then you have you can do it post filter. You want auto volume. You want to have definitely on a bit crusher because they can get really loud. And then we have this master, so you can actually have before we go to the master, you can have up to 4 effects layered, and this right here is what turns them on and off. So you can layer up those effects up to 4 if you want on each kind of sound. So then we have the master section. This is kind of where it all goes down. This is where you select your, you have your bank, your preset, your layering. I don't know what that does there, but this is where you can load things. If you have different sound banks you want to load, different presets you want to load. This one here will let you save things. So if you want to save your presets, you can do that there. But you can go into this. I mean, it comes with all this stuff, you know. These are all different banks. So we have ambient layered. That's what I was in. And you get all these sounds. This is just one bank. See what else. We go to like the arpeggiator layered. So these have arpeggiator settings. There you go. That's a party. We needed a party happening. These are just some of the arpeggiator presets. There's more. I do that. All right. So this would be, I guess, a good one for chords. Oh, there you go. I'm just playing some different chords. Oh, see, it kind of does the bass automatically. That's got a little bit of a reggae feel to it. There's so many presets in here. I couldn't even dream of going through all of these, but you do have some great. There's some dance leads in here. Oh yeah. Great leads. Wow. All right. Have a good night, Dave. Thanks for popping in, or bopping in, I should say. So, yeah, you can see you got all kinds of... We're still in the A's. I'm just trying to move a little. I mean, you can just see, like, how many... Look at all these. So you got some deep basses. These are kind of more of like your sub bass. If you're on a phone, you're probably not hearing these too well at all. These are all like sub bass type stuff. Let's see what else. We have demo sounds. Oh, that'll be good. The Groover ARP. (2004) bass. Maybe we'll just go through these demo sounds. 8 voice stack. Now here's what's cool. This precision thing. This is something that I wish more synths... There is a synth in Logic that has something like this, I think. But this emulates analog. So the more... If you have the precision on 100%, it'll be like digital, where everything is like perfectly in tune. The more you go back this way, and you can go all the way down to 90. So you have basically 10 levels that it gives you of precision. If you go all the way down to like 90, this will be the extreme example. It's subtle. But it gives you a little subtle detuning to make it sound like analog hardware, which is cool. Async. There's some pad. You get great pad sounds in this. Oh, there's some bass. And this is a great place to show you about the there's the glide, because you hear this on. And the more you increase that, the longer it's going to take to slide up when you play legato. You see, that's a really long. And as long as you keep a note held down, it's going to keep doing that. There's a few different modes. You can do it in held. You can just have it on. And this way it won't matter if you hold the notes down or not. It's always going to do it. And let's see what else. There's also bend. Maybe you have to use the pitch bend. To do that one. But I think most of the time you're going to use the held or the on. And then you have the trigger as well. So you have, this is in mono right now, but you can change the polyphony up to infinite. I'm sure there's a practical limit to it, but it does give you an infinite option there. And you can still use the glide even if you have the multiple voices on. You can also have a single trigger, so that's where you hear this. When this is on held, you'll really notice it. Maybe you won't. It's got to be in mono, that's why. Okay. So if you have this in held, and you have this single trigger on, you'll see it doesn't re-trigger the note when if you hold notes over, when you do this sliding thing, the portamento. With that, it'll re-trigger the note every time with this off. So, this is, of course, your volume. I'm not actually sure what ECS is. There's this chord thing, so you can learn a chord somehow and play it back as part of the preset. Don't really use that too much. Then you have this here, which is really awesome. So this gen button is a randomizer. So you can come up with just random sounds. So if you don't like any of these, you got all these presets. But if you don't like any of the presets and you want somewhere to start, maybe you just start hitting this the generate button. And it'll just randomize all the preset, all the properties of all the. Yes, I do too. Because you just never know. Like, a lot of it's going to sound like crap. But you might hit on something that sounds great. Now, I wish, this is an old, we're probably asking too much of this, but, it would be nice if you could target the the randomize button to only specific parameters. So if you like certain things, it won't change that. Like if you could lock stuff out. But I don't think. And remember, this is an app that was originally. This is a plugin from 2006, so it didn't really have that. So it will change potentially everything. Although it seems to be keeping some things the same. It seems to just kind of subtly go away from where you start. And the more you hit the button, the more it changes. Now, keep in mind, you also have layers. So you can do, if you want to do, let's just find, I know there's keyboard, like synth sounds here. So let's just say we want to have this flute, and then we'll go to the next layer, and we'll turn that on, and trying to figure out how to get this to stay on the layer. I select. Because it keeps going back. But you can layer sounds up on this. We put onions? Because it's like the layers of an onion, I guess. Except onions are disgusting, though. So you can layer sounds up on this as well, which is a nice thing to be able to do. And you can have up to 4 layers. So remember, you got 4 oscillators, and then you have 4 layers that can each have 4 different oscillators going. So you can have 16 layers. So it's very nice. What you can do, you can control the volume and pan of each layer, and you have all the control there of that. So this is a pretty full-featured, I would say, a pretty full-featured plugin. Now, we buried the lead on this one. The little app we looked at last week was free. This one is not. This one costs $99. So, it was worth it to me because I used to use this. It's in tons of songs that I have from the original version. And when I saw there was, and this isn't totally new. I think this came out in like 2023. It's worth it to me to have this because, nostalgia, and it really does have a ton of really great sounds. Strings. Organ stuff. Weird stuff. It's all there. It's all there. There's a Visiphone bank. I don't even know what that is. This might be a featured preset creator. So not bad for a synth from 2006. All right. I'm going to come back here, and there's a link in the description. If you are interested in this, you want to grab it, I highly recommend it. I think it's a fantastic synth, but it might not be for everybody, and I understand that too. And it is, again, it's $100, €100, $100. You have to do the kind of VST synth budget and see where you fall on that, if that's something that's going to be worthwhile to you or not. And a lot of people, it probably won't be, but some people it will, and I highly recommend. And I highly recommend the synths I have a bunch of synths from Rob Papen, and I have the Blue 3, I have the Predator 3, and now the Albino 3. Well, I've had this one for a little while too. Unbelievable. I use his stuff all the time. It's all throughout Thomas Christ. At least since I started doing stuff on computer, which was, with the last famous 2005. So since about 2005, 2006 was when this came out. And I've been using it. So, and it's great to be able to still be able to use it. Which is also a nice thing. I love that they've refreshed it and revitalized it for the modern DAW. So I think it's a very commendable work. Rob Papen makes incredible synths, very complex, but there's a lot to dive into. But the presets are great as well. So if you really don't want to get into all the fiddly bits that this has, it's got a lot of fiddly stuff. You don't have to necessarily mess around with that too much. You can stick to the basic cutoff and some of the effects and use the great presets that are on here, or hit the randomize button. At any rate, that's what I got for you today. We're still they haven't quite up. I know I talked last week about tape 16. They still haven't made a way to record that in stereo. So I'm not going to worry about that. until, there was an update, but that wasn't the update. So I'm still kind of waiting on that, and we'll get to it eventually. And it's a very different way of working in this kind of emulating tape and everything. So we'll get to that. I don't know if it'll be next week, but it'll be soon. All right. So I think that's what I got for you today. Jade Star is up next. She's got Matt Hanchik, who is creating some awesome metal music for the interview. Then we got Pete Johns up after that, and he's doing what was he doing? I think he's doing some tips for helping to inspire creativity. So that'll be cool as well. Then, of course, on Friday, Jade's doing an app date show. I saw that. We got Lori's Mishmash and Leela and Gary Hubbs on Friday night. And then on Saturday, there's the premiere of the launch of the Walk With Me channel that Jade is doing at 6 p.m. And then I'll be with you for Hour of Rock. And then you got the opening hour, and Pete Johns is doing a happy hour. You got Wolfstone Studio live. And then on Sunday, you got... I'm going through the whole rundown. I don't know why I'm doing it. Anyway, on Sunday, you got Jade with the rant. You got Pete Johns with Your Music Live. And then on Monday, you got Leela Music Mondays. You got Jade Star. You got Pete Johns with Garage Band Weekly. And you've got Frank Terza with Community Pulse. And then on Wednesday, I'll be back next week with another episode of You Rock TV Live. So get your tracks in for that. urock.thomaschrist.net. And I'll put your link, but shortcuts aren't working. All right. Well, anyway, thanks so much for being here. And yeah, much love. Take care. And of course, keep rocking. See you over at Jade's. Bye, everybody.